Hey crafters, this is Nye here. So today what we are going to do, we are going to assemble our 3D carrot box. As you can see, I have all of my pieces cut out here, and it was a pretty quick and easy cut. There really weren't a lot of pieces, but I also have my acetate layer here, and then my two orange pieces, which is going to be my box. You can obviously tell which one is going to be the bottom and which one will be the top. And then we have our leaf pieces here, the stem of our carrot. And there's quite a few of these because we're actually going to kind of create that 3D shape as well. So that way it's not just kind of that stem sticking out of the box. Okay, so I'm going to be using my art glitter glue for all of my gluing. I also have my bone folder here to help me with creasing my score lines. And with that, we're going to get started. So let's begin right here with the base of our box. As you can see, I have all of my score lines here, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to fold right along those score lines. Then using my bone folder, I am going to crease them down just to make sure that they are crisp and sharp. This is one of those crafts here that we want to make sure that our lines are sharp and crisp here, because they're actually going to be almost 90-degree angles for everything. And so we want to make sure that we are getting everything at that 90-degree angle. Okay, so I'm doing my last one there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip mine the other way. Just kind of create the triangle. Whoops. And I'm going to flip all of these the other way too. And there we go. All right, so here we go. We've got our glue. Now we are going to add the glue to our tabs. So I'm just going to add a dab of glue right there. And then we're going to press and fold it together. And this is also going to be one of those crafts where we want to hold it together and give it a couple minutes to give the glue a chance to completely bond. It's super important for this one. We don't want anything to come undone as we are crafting here. All right, so we've got this part. I'm going to do the same thing with this upper part here of, my glue seems to be kind of like leaking here or something. We're going to do the same thing here with this top part. I did kind of just refill my bottle, so I wonder if there's just a bit under pressure there. Okay, so I've got that side going, and do the same thing right here. Okay. So once you have that part, that looks great. Then we're going to do the same thing now with the other side. So I have my score lines here on this side, but before I even go ahead and do anything, what I'm going to do is flip it over because I want to glue down my acetate layer first. So I have my acetate layer and I'm going to glue it on the inside here. And so you do kind of want to line it up first to make sure that you know your positioning here. And I'm going to grab a paper towel because my glue is definitely kind of going to town here. So I'm just going to wipe it there. Okay. So now what I'm going to do, look, it's already still coming out. I'm going to just add a little bit of glue right here along the edge. Don't go crazy adding the glue here because you don't want any to seep out too much past the acetate there. So I'm going to add some there, add a little bit to this part. And then you can just press right down, okay? And then you can flip it over. Now, if you have any coming out, what you can do is just use that same paper towel and just dab it wherever you see the glue, okay? All right, that looks great. So now we're ready to fold. So we're gonna do the same thing we did for the base, and that's just folding along the score lines, then using our bone folder to make sure that those lines are sharp and crisp. You also want to make sure too, as you are folding this top piece here, that you're not bending it too much because you don't want that acetate layer to come undone on the other side. All right, so I'm going to do the tabs. And all right, there we go. So once you have everything folded, you want to make sure that you're going the opposite way. And I'm going to do it from this side here. So that way it doesn't kind of bend my acetate as much. Okay, and this is really wild with my glue. Okay, it's one thing or another. So we're going to do the same thing, and that's just adding a little bit of glue right to all of these tabs here, then pressing it and holding it together and giving it a chance to bond and to dry and to seal. Then we're going to do the same thing here on the opposite side with both of the tabs that are here. Again, adding the glue to the sides, then folding it and giving it a chance to bond and seal. All right, I'm going to try to do both of them at the same time. Not going to happen. Okay, there it goes. All right. So once you have that part done, what you can do is then you can take it and check your fit. And you can see, voila. So we've got the bottom of our carrot here. So now let's work here on the leaf part. Again, I got to wipe this glue. Okay, so you've got your score lines here on the leaf part. What you're going to notice is that two of them are going to be completely identical. So you've got these two here that are identical, these two that are identical. If you need to, you can hold them one right on top of the other to figure out which ones are identical. You want to make sure that you keep the identical ones together. And then you're going to have these two here, which are going to be the middle part of our carrot. So what we're going to do, so you can see these two are identical as well. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to glue these together, but we're going to fold it right here at the bottom first because we don't want these bottom pieces to be glued. We're going to use these to glue on the inside. And then we are going to add the glue right here to one side. And then we're going to take the second piece and just place it right on top to seal. Remember, we're not gluing the bottoms here, these two tabs. All right, so then just seal it up there. And then what we're going to do now is we're going to take two of the pieces that are identical, and we're going to fold them right along the score line right there. Okay, so you've got one and then two. Now, what you want to do is take that center piece that has the two tabs, and you want to figure out which side is going to go where. So if you're doing this side, I would do this one here. This one here is going to go on this side. Okay, so this is, you want to line it up here, and then you're going to add the glue to only the side that's going to glue down. All right, so I'm adding the glue right here. And then I'm going to press it down so that way it kind of pops up and just kind of hold it there. So line up the edge and then press it so it just kind of lines up and holds right there. Then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So check it this way and going to go the other way. So if you need to, just adjust it. All right, there we go. And so you can see how it's going to line up right there. So we're going to add the glue on this side here. Just adding my glue. And then we're going to press this side right down there and just making sure that it lines up. All right. So you can see it there. So when you hold it, it's almost kind of going to be like a little tree here. Like you can see it, right? Okay. So we're going to do the same thing for the other two. So we're going to fold right along the score line. And again, right along the score line there. Use your bone folder to make it nice and crisp and sharp. And the next thing we're going to do is we're going to check the fit. So you can see it goes right there. Now, we don't have to add the glue to this side. We can add it directly to here. And you do kind of want to make sure that you're going right to the edges here because you want to create a seal. And then just place it right on the inside and make sure that everything is lining up and sealing right there. Then we're going to do the same thing for the opposite side. And again, just check alignment to make sure that everything lines up correctly. Super important. The last thing you want to do is add glue and then, oh no, it was the wrong side, right? That's the worst, because then you have to recut and then it feels like you're wasting material, and that's definitely not fun. I'm gonna add a little bit right in there. Okay, that was a lot of glue for this part. Oh, that's all right though. Okay, so then just press everything down, and when you have it, just kind of check to make sure that you don't have any glue that's seeping through. Even if you do, it's okay, because if you're using art glitter glue like I am, it's gonna dry clear, so no big deal. Okay, so now what we're ready to do is we're gonna take the lid of our box. So we're gonna take this part again, and we're gonna make sure that these tabs are flat and straight, and we're gonna fish them right through the little slot that's in the top of our carrot here. You wanna make sure that you get both through, and then you're gonna flip it to the inside here. And so this is where you're gonna kind of have to hold it. We're gonna add glue to the top tab here and to the bottom tab underneath. So it's gonna get a little tricky, and I'm trying to make sure that I stay in my camera and I don't lift it up too far away. So I'm just gonna do the one side first. Press and hold it, give it a chance to dry. Then do the other side and do it right there. Hopefully you guys can see that. And then press and hold it down so it's flat. I've got glue on my finger. All right, that looks good. And so there you go. And so you can just place it together again. And so now we've got our box with our stem here, and it's a 3D stem, and it looks great. And so you can fill it with any kind of candies you want. You can go the extra mile too and create a little banner if you want, and add a name if you wanted to use it as a place setting for Easter, okay? So thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoy this craft. Be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and have fun crafting.